In the logic of the Gothic, a monster cannot cross your threshold unless you explicitly invite it in. Samuel Taylor Coleridge grounds this horror in the middle of a quiet midnight in April. We find the Baron's only daughter, Christabel, kneeling alone beneath a massive oak tree. She is praying for the safety of her betrothed knight, cementing her role as a symbol of absolute religious purity. A sudden, low moan shatters her prayer. On the other side of the tree, she finds a beautiful woman in a white robe named Geraldine. The stranger claims she was kidnapped by 5 warriors and abandoned here in the woods, exhausted and barely alive. Driven by selfless charity, Christabel takes the stranger's hand. She promises her father's protection and leads the weary woman back toward the castle. This act of holy charity carries a hidden weight. By following her moral compass, Christabel has willingly escorted a potential predator to her own front door.
As the two women approach the castle, the natural world begins to display a visceral sixth sense to the presence of evil. As they reach the iron gate of the castle moat, Geraldine collapses in mysterious, paralyzing pain. Christabel has to physically carry her over the threshold, inadvertently fulfilling the requirement for a dark spirit to enter a home. Once inside the courtyard, the friction between them grows. When Christabel offers a prayer to the Virgin Mary for their rescue, Geraldine claims she is far too weak to join her in praising the holy. The reaction extends to Sir Leoline's mastiff. This dog has never growled at Christabel, yet it moans angrily in its sleep as Geraldine passes by. Finally, as they move past the fireplace, the dying white ashes flare into a bright flame just as Geraldine's dress sweeps past them. These escalating anomalies suggest a supernatural home invasion is underway, one that Christabel's own innocence makes her unable to recognize. The women finally reach Christabel's bedroom, a space adorned with angelic carvings and a lamp fastened to the feet of a carved angel. This is Christabel's spiritual sanctuary. This diagram weighs the forces at war in this room. On one side, Christabel's rigid, bright devotion. On the other, Geraldine's dark, fluid sexuality. When Geraldine drinks a wildflower cordial, it triggers a physical transformation. Her body shivers in a violent rhythmic motion. Geraldine unclasps her belt, revealing a sight so unsettling that Christabel can only watch in silence. The stranger then climbs into the bed and pulls the girl into her arms. While holding her, Geraldine casts a mystical spell that grants her absolute control over Christabel. The magic ensures the girl cannot speak a word of what has happened in this room. This act violates the room's spiritual peace. It demonstrates how a corrupting force can physically and spiritually overpower even the most devout soul. By morning, the corruption has spread. Sir Leoline is instantly enchanted by Geraldine, especially after discovering she is the daughter of Lord Roland, an old friend from his youth. Bracy the bard tries to warn the Baron of a dream he had, where a bright green snake was found in the woods, slowly coiling around and strangling a struggling bird. In this vision, the green snake is Geraldine, and the bird is Christabel. Despite the obvious threat, Sir Leoline is blinded by his own nostalgic emotions and ignores the bard's warning. Geraldine senses the danger and strikes back. She shoots a sudden, serpentine, hissing glance directly at Christabel. The look triggers a dizzying trance. The spell infects Christabel's mind, causing her to stumble and mimic the monster's own hissing sounds. Geraldine's magic actively infects Christabel's mind, rewriting her personality to mirror the very creature that has invaded her home. Christabel's selfless nature vanishes. In a desperate, out-of-character moment, she falls to her father's feet and begs him to cast Geraldine out on the street. Sir Leoline is consumed by rage. Choosing his old friend's daughter over his own child, he rejects Christabel and chooses to protect the disguised monster instead. This psychological collapse is what scholar Anya Taylor calls a meditation on the vulnerabilities of will. Taylor is a literary historian who specializes in the way romantic poets depicted the fragility of the human psyche. Coleridge uses these supernatural tropes to systematically erase Christabel's human free will. The poem reveals a chilling truth. In the face of a seductive, mystical evil, innocence and devoutness are not a shield, they are a vulnerability.